Welcome back, everyone. Amy Banner's back with us today. Naturalist at Johnny Appleseed Metro Park District. We're talking a little bit about the Monarch Butterfly. You mentioned this is the busy time of year for them. They're going to be flapping the old wings and heading out, huh?
That's right. Yeah. We typically think of butterflies in the springtime just because all other animals are reproducing and all the babies come during that time of year. So in the spring, that's the time that they're going to lay their eggs. They go through that complete metamorphosis. So they're eggs, then they form that caterpillar. The caterpillar is going to make a chrysalis, and then a butterfly is going to emerge. But with the butterflies, they only live about 5 weeks or so. And so they're constantly doing this cycle. And throughout the whole spring, throughout the summer, they're just going through these phases again. However, in this time of year, maybe beginning in September or October, they're going to change just a little bit because they're looking to make that really long 2,000-mile journey down to Mexico. So all butterflies that are on this side, east of the Mississippi, they're actually going to be traveling to Mexico. If you're west of the Mississippi, you just travel to California. It's a little bit smaller of a journey for you, but they're still going through some of these phases. So what's pretty amazing is that when you are this butterfly, when it's about to emerge as a butterfly, there's some small differences that are being made. So for example, they're going to be about 4% larger. And just to put it in perspective for you, that's not that big. I'm 5 feet tall. 4% larger for me is only going to be about 5'2". So it's not a noticeable distinguishing feature there, but it is a little bit. And because they're making this super, super long journey, they have to have some of these adaptations. So they're going to be a little bit bigger. They're also going to sort of switch off their reproductive mode, and they need to fly all the way down south. They have that 2,000-mile journey, as I mentioned. And in order to do that, they don't want to reproduce. They don't want to really have anything that's going to affect them. So once they do get down there, they're going to go into this diapause. So it's kind of like a hibernation mode. They get down there, they swarm all together. There's a bunch of butterflies together for warmth, and then they kind of hibernate down there. And once they emerge, then a few days later, they'll reproduce again, and the whole thing begins all over again. They'll lay that egg, they'll become a caterpillar, they'll make the chrysalis, and then they'll form the butterfly. And so at that point, then it's okay to reproduce again because they're about to die. So they need to make future generations there.
I have a dumb question for you, Amy. So when they make this migration, they're going thousands of miles, as you said. Is it all in one fell swoop? Do they rest anywhere along the way?
Yeah, they definitely rest. There's definitely places all throughout that you'll see huge congregations of these butterflies, and they kind of flock to trees. And you can see just thousands of them on some of these sites there. But the sort of cool thing about it is when they're traveling down south, it's just one butterfly. And so they live about a couple of months now instead of that maybe 5 weeks. That one butterfly will travel all the way down there. But then when the cycle begins again in the spring, then they're flying north, but yet it's not one butterfly anymore. So now the child of the original butterfly that made that journey south, they're the ones making the journey north. And when they do that, they're looking for that milkweed. I'm sure we're familiar with monarchs and milkweeds. They're looking for that so that they can lay those eggs, reproduce again. And then again, a new generation of butterflies continues that journey north. And that happens again and again. Maybe the great-great-great-grandchildren of the original butterfly that flew south is now coming back north for us in the springtime. So it's crazy how they know how to do all of this stuff, especially when they've never done it before. I just think that's fascinating.
It really is fascinating. One quick thing for you. I know you guys have talked about this. We're seeing fewer numbers. That's got to be a real concern as well.
That's very true. Yeah. And like I said, it's pretty much that milkweed. They're trying to find the milkweed. If we're spraying everything, we're using herbicides, pesticides, we're killing not just the unwanted plants, but sometimes we're killing the wanted plants as well. So really, habitat destruction is the biggest feature there. And that includes here, their journey north and south. And then, of course, in Mexico, too, there's a bunch of illegal logging happening there, and it's just destroying their habitat. So they're really struggling in numbers, and we know now they're on the endangered species list. So they're hurting. They're trying to come back, but we're destroying their habitat.
It's fascinating to hear the process. Amy, thank you so much for simplifying for us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Nice chatting with you. We'll be back right after this.